History was made at Parliament today when the Prime Minister announced that New Zealand history would be made a compulsory subject in all primary and secondary schools by 2022. It left iwi leaders who thought they were there solely to unveil a New Zealand Wars plaque completely overwhelmed. There too were former Otorohanga College student Leah Bell, who took a petition to Parliament in 2015 demanding a day of remembrance for the New Zealand Wars and for it to be included in the national curriculum. 4 years on and her dream has been realised. Te Aniwa Hurihanganui and visual journalist Ana Tovey filed this report.
As dawn broke over Te Whanganui Atara, a contingent of iwi leaders from every major rohe in the country was welcomed onto Parliament. They were there to unveil a commemorative plaque for the New Zealand Wars, a korowai draped at the gateway of the debating chamber. But as Jacinda Ardern stood to make her closing speech, they quickly realised there was more to the occasion.
We should make the choice that to know our history is to better understand ourselves and our future. And so today we remove the chance and we announce a millennium moment that New Zealand history will become part of our core curriculum in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
As it stands, the national curriculum sets out what skills students should learn, but does not require teachers to cover specific topics. Ms Ardern says the change means learning objectives specific to New Zealand history will now be included in the curriculum.
But with this change, we will have a full range of subjects that will be taught, including the arrival of Māori to Aotearoa, New Zealand, first encounters in early colonial history of Aotearoa, Te Tiriti o Waitangi and its history, colonisation of and immigration to Aotearoa, including the New Zealand Wars.
The announcement was a surprise for Ngāpuhi leader Raniera Tau.
I think it's fantastic. It's something that we've, as iwi leaders, we've waited for a long time. And the announcement today come out of the blue, which was a lovely bit of a early morning awakening call for us.
Former Otorohanga College student Leah Bell, who presented a 12,000 signature petition to Parliament in 2015 requesting a National Day of Remembrance for the New Zealand Wars, was holding back tears. She said it was difficult to express in words how much the move meant.
The implementation of our history in the curriculum will unite Aotearoa. It will provide us with the resources, with the skills to make informed choices about healthcare, about lands, about the well-being of all people in Aotearoa.
The change also backed by Graham Ball, the chair of the History Teachers Association. But he noted teachers are going to need a lot of support and resources to make it happen by 2022.
That's where there's going to need to be a fairly big boost in teacher professional development to make this happen. But that's all right. I think we're up to that challenge, and through the NZHTA we already do quite a lot of that sort of thing through our conferences and everything at least. So it's a matter of just upscaling what we already do.
Waikato Tainui leader Rahui Papa says it's time for New Zealanders to acknowledge and confront their past.
And I'm just so glad that it is going to become a point where all New Zealanders will gain an understanding about what happened in their areas. Good, bad, ugly. We can't live on the grief of the past, and that's why it's so important that the shackles and the blinkers fall away to the wayside now.
The Ministry of Education will now work with historians, iwi, teachers and students to make the changes. The updated curriculum and NCEA package is expected to be ready for the 2022 school year. Mo te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko te Aniwa Hurihanganui, ahau.